Subtracting integers. When an integer question uses subtraction, based in one of the four setups that you see in front of you, most of the time a very important three-word rule is going to need to happen. Not for every question, but let's discover what this rule is and which one of these questions will require it. Let's look at the first two. In the very first question here, 20 minus 15. If I had $20 and I take away 15, there's no need for a rule there. You're going to be left with $5. But in our second question, we have 30 minus 40. You have $30 and you owe me 40. Well, in this case, we need to apply a rule. We cannot get a positive result here. So when we look at our rule, keep, change, it's going to change a few things around. We're going to keep that first value that we see, in this case 30. The first change we're going to make is our subtraction symbol is going to become an addition sign. And our 40 is going to become a negative 40. Why would we do this? Well, now we know the rules for addition, and we can apply them to this question. Remember, when we add integers together, a positive and a negative, we look at just the absolute value. We take the highest value, in this case the 40 would be our high absolute value, and we're going to subtract the lower absolute value, which is 30. We find the difference between them. In this case, the difference of these two questions would be 10, and now we keep the sign of the larger value. The larger value, 40, was negative. So in this case, our answer would be negative 10. And when we look at the original question, 30 minus 40, we almost can do some mental math to figure out that negative 10 answer anyway. This just confirms our thoughts. The last two questions are a little bit more complex. In this case, we have negative 10 minus 15. Let's take a look at our rule. Keep, change. We're going to keep this negative 10. First change we're going to make is changing subtraction to addition. And our second value of 15 becomes a negative. And now remember, when you have a negative plus a negative, you owe somebody $10 plus you owe somebody $15, the negatives don't go away. You just add those two values together and you keep the negative sign. So in this case, you would owe whoever it is $25, negative 25. Our last example, subtracting integers, negative 6 minus negative 6. There's a heck of a lot going on here, so let's bring our rule in. But you can start to abbreviate it once you get comfortable with the idea of keep, change. You're going to keep that negative 6. We're going to change subtraction to addition. And we're going to change our last value, a negative 6, into a positive 6. Now when we look at these, we're adding opposites, a negative 6 plus 6. If you owe me $6 and you have $6, you're going to give me what you have. And the final answer here is going to be 0.